Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to learn about erosion control diligence or an erosion control setup. And in a set of construction documents we have to do a number of BMPs or best management practices that help prevent erosion from leaving the site. And as part of those plans there's a lot of individual things that need to be looked up and done ahead of time. And for the erosion control setup, we're going to walk you through all of these preliminary items that need to be done, and this will assist our engineers so that when we get to the actual erosion control plan, all the necessary information and research has been done so that they can complete or prepare the erosion control plans more efficiently. And so in this erosion control setup, Casey's going to walk us through how to do that and what needs to be done. So let's learn.
Welcome back, guys. It's Casey. Today we're going to be going over how to set up erosion control sheets so that you can send them to a design engineer and they'll have all of the preliminary setup already done and ready to go. So we've got a document here on this on erosion diligence and erosion sheet setup that has all the different tasks that you want to complete when setting up erosion control sheets. So I'm going to pull that over to the side and we're going to go through them one by one in CAD so that we have an example of how to do each task. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to map the soil types into our CAD drawing. So if I go back here in our model space, this is our fictional site here, and then we have located it on a potentially real location, and we've pulled the soil survey from Web Soil Survey. We have another video on this that you can go reference on how to do this specifically. We've essentially downloaded the PDF from Web Soil Survey. We've imported it. Let me pull up this layer really quick. We've imported it, imported the PDF, and then just traced over the soil lines and labeled each different soil type so that we can show our soil types and where the soils are located on the site. So this is going to give us a pretty good idea of where the soil or what type of soils are on site and where they're at. So once you've completed this, you're going to want to fill out the soil types block on the C501, 502, or 503 sheet. This block is on each different sheet, so once you fill it out on one sheet, it'll automatically update on the others. So we're going to go ahead and fill out this block. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the PDF that has the information of each soil type. So we've got three different types of soil located on this site. We've got CFS, we've got MID2, and these are just the symbol names, symbols. We've got RNF. Then we don't have a fourth type located on site, so we're just going to delete that part, and then we can just drag this piece of the block higher up so it's nice and uniform. And then we're going to fill out the rest of the information, and we'll adjust the block as needed. So CFS, the name of the soil is, we're going to go ahead and do this in all caps, Chihuahua Silt Loam. And it is at 0 to 2% slopes. The next one is Madison Sandy Clay Loam, 10 to 15% slopes. Go ahead and name this Madison Sandy Clay Loam. And then RNF is Ryan and Bethlehem soils. 15 to 45% slopes. Okay, and we'll go ahead and drag this to adjust. Okay, and this is a soil survey of Gwinnett County, Georgia. Gwinnett. And let's go ahead and close the block editor, save the changes, and this is going to be updated for us. Okay, our next task is going to be determining whether or not the site is located within 1 mile of a biota impaired stream. So we can go ahead and go to our web browser for this, and we can search Georgia impaired streams and click on this ArcGIS link, and which is going to take us to a GIS mapping service that provides all of the biota impaired streams within the state of Georgia. We're just going to locate our site, which is near this address. Our site's located right here, so we'll just grab this nearby address and throw it in. You can search right here. And then zoom out a little to see if we're within that 1 mile buffer. So we are within the 1 mile buffer of a biota impaired stream. So that's going to be information that we're going to want to make note of. That can be made as a note in our due diligence spreadsheet in the Excel. And we're just going to figure out what stream this is that we're closest to. So it looks like our site is going to be draining to this impaired stream right here, not this guy down here. That could not be true based off the grades. We don't have grades for this site, at least those haven't been pulled yet. So we're just going to assume that they go up here into what looks to be Crooked Creek. So we know that our site drains directly into Crooked Creek. It's gonna, all the runoff's gonna run this direction into Crooked Creek. There's no tributaries coming off of Crooked Creek, or else we would, the verbiage in our C504 sheet would say that we drain into a tributary of Crooked Creek, but it looks like we drain directly into Crooked Creek. So we're just gonna go ahead and make note of that. So we're within the 1 mile buffer and we're draining into Crooked Creek. This means that we're gonna have to provide extra BMPs. So those extra BMPs aren't by default on our C504 sheet. They're up here, and we have to move them down into the sheet such that it fits. So usually we grab this guy. We're going to kind of adjust all this down. Grab this guy and drag down until it fits. And we'll kind of have to move everything around just a little bit. We won't worry too much about that right this second. Okay. And then we're going to have to select an extra 4 BMPs of this list of BMPs because we're within that 1 mile buffer. This is something that you'll leave up to the design engineer, but this is why this is a critical piece of information. So you can go ahead and drag this block down and leave it there so that the design engineer can come back and edit again later. Now we're going to want to fill out the 24-hour contact text block. This is going to be on your 501 sheet, and again, it's going to update on all 3 phases of the erosion control sheet, so we can go ahead and enter the block editor. And then you're just going to want to punch in all the relevant information here, contact name. Typically this is going to be our client or representative of the client or representative of the company or LLC which owns the property. So we can say Joe Smith. I'm just going to punch in their information, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then company name, etc. Address, etc., city, state, zip, etc. You'll fill out all of this information here. We're just going to go ahead and save that. We'll close the block editor, save our changes. So now this is going to update on each one of the erosion control sheets. Okay. Next, what we're going to want to do is identify the local issuing authority of our site. So one of the ways that you can do this is just by knowledge of knowing local issuing authorities if you've worked in those jurisdictions before. So you're going to want to identify the jurisdiction that you're working in, whether it's in a county or in a city. And essentially what local issuing authority means is that county or city is basically approved to review and approve erosion and sediment control plans within their jurisdiction. Some counties and some cities are not local issuing authorities, and in that case you might have to send your erosion and sediment control plans to GSWIC. Go ahead and over here, which is the Georgia Soil and Water Conservation Commission, and they're going to approve your erosion control plans and send them back to you, and then you'll have approved plans. Some jurisdictions won't even require you to do this, but most jurisdictions that are not local issuing authorities are going to require you to send your plans over to GSWIC for review and approval. If you don't know whether or not your jurisdiction is a local issuing authority, you can go to GSWIC's website and go to their documents list, and they have an Excel file called Local Issuing Authorities. It's been updated as recently as January 2023. And in this Excel file, you're going to be able to find every single county and every single city within the county, and it'll state whether or not it is a local issuing authority. If yes, then that's your local issuing authority. If no, then you're probably going to have to send your plans into GSWIC. Most large counties that we particularly do work in, like Cobb County, or Cherokee County, etc., are local issuing authorities. So as you can see, Cherokee County, the county itself is an LIA. Meaning if you're not within one of the cities in Cherokee, but you're in the Cherokee County area, you'll submit your erosion and sediment control plans to Cherokee County versus GSWIC. And then as you can see, some of the smaller, more rural counties, such as maybe Crawford County, they're not LIAs, and you'd have to get it approved through GSWIC. Okay. So this is, again, very important information. We don't directly have somewhere that you're going to want to fill out on the notes spreadsheet, but it's just great information to make note of in our due diligence Excel sheet, or maybe you can make note of it offside in the CAD. Alright, now you're going to want to update the erosion control notes, which is sheet C504. So you're going to start with the 24-hour contact and primary permittee information, which is this information right here at the top. Again, your 24-hour local contact is going to be the same information that you provided in the block. So we'll just go ahead and type Joe Smith. Just go back because I don't want to delete all of that. We've got Joe Smith. Type in the phone number, type in the email, etc. Primary permittee is going to be the address and phone number and business, or phone number and email of whoever the owner of the site is. Typically, a lot of our clients will have the sites owned by some sort of LLC, in which case you provide the phone number and email of a representative of the LLC and the address in which the LLC operates out of. Then you can update the total project area and disturbed area. You're probably not going to be able to update the disturbed area, or it will be subject to change based off of what the design engineer does with the erosion control plans, but you can update the total project area by punching in the acreage of the site. And they're going to want to identify the receiving waters, which you kind of already did by finding out whether or not we're within 1 mile of a biota impaired stream. So we identified that we are within 1 mile of a biota impaired stream and that all of our site runoff is going to drain into Crooked Creek. So our receiving waters is essentially that biota impaired stream that we are within 1 mile of. Another key piece of information that you're going to want to make note of before your design engineer gets a hold of the project. And then that's pretty much it. Once you have all this information filled out, you've saved a ton of time for your design engineer on setup, and your erosion and sediment control sheets are ready for design.